is Barry Allen.
My name is Iris.
My name is Caitlin Snow.
And I'm the fastest man alive.
Hey Caitlin, where do I go next?
Just to the second floor of the parking garage at your left. Be careful, he's armed members.
He's just another mugger. It'll be easy.
Barry, you're running out of time. Run.
Hey, CCPD, put your hands in the air.
Get out of my way.
They're here? The three of them? Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Let's see what you're hiding, Mr. Allen. Good afternoon. Welcome to the CCPD. My name is Detective Paris. Please, take a seat.
Well, Detective Steven, are you telling us why are we all here?
Yes, let me explain. We're carrying out an investigation, which details are confidential, and we would like you to answer some questions for us.
Oh, confidential investigation. That's interesting. I've been working in the CCPD for a while, some years actually, and I hadn't seen you around.
Yeah, well, I just arrived to Central City a few days ago. I've actually been incorporated into the Anti-Human Task Force. I'm gathering information for the case.
Oh, Anti-Human Task Force. Hadn't heard about it.
Well, that's all I can tell you, Mr. Allen. But don't worry, these are just some routine questions. I'm sure we'll be done in just 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine for me. Let's do it.
Well, first, just for the record, could you tell me your name, a brief description of yourself, and what you do?
Yes, of course. My name is Caitlin Snow. I work as a bioengineer in the STAR Labs, and I contributed for the development of the particle accelerator.
Yes, of course. My name is Iris. Right now, I'm a waitress at theaters, and I have an online blog where I tell all the supernatural events that happen in Central City. I love journalism, and I consider myself as a really curious and strong woman who can achieve all her goals.
Well, my name is Barry Allen. I'm a forensic scientist. I work for the CCPD. I love science, and I consider I know quite a lot about it. Well, as maybe you've already read in my files, my mom was murdered when I was a kid. My dad is in prison. I was recently in an accident which left me in a coma for 9 months. And I received help from Star Labs to recover now that I'm back. And yeah, I think that's it.
Well, that's good. For now. Well, let's start with something easy. Do you like your job at the CCPD? What do you even do as a forensic scientist?
Okay, I'm good with that. Yes, I love my job at the CCPD. As a forensic scientist, I usually examine crime scenes, take samples of substances, and analyze the evidence to help us to connect the scenes with the responsible. Since I was a child, I've loved science, and doing something that you love while helping people in your city, I think that's just great.
Does the fact that your dad, Detective Joe West, works here at the Central City Police Department affect you in any way?
Kind of personal for being sorry, but okay, so I think it actually affects him more than it affects me. I always wanted to work in the police department, but he never let me go. He thinks it's very dangerous for me, and he's very overprotective. Sometimes he's seeking to look the best for me. But right now, I think it's really dangerous to be a police officer. especially with all the things of the meta humans. But with Flash and the police officer, I feel very safe.
Dr. Snow, what was your role at Star Labs with the particle accelerator?
In fact, I never had like a main position within the particle accelerator. I rather focused on everything related to biology and medicine inside the Star Labs, and doing some studies, running tests around the laboratory and its employees. Also, yes, I was supporting the team and staff in everything they needed and learned a lot from the science and engineering from the project.
Miss West, could you tell us if you have any kind of relationship with Eddie Fawn? And if you do, how could this even work knowing that he's your dad's partner?
I really don't understand how this question can help you with your ongoing investigation.
Miss West, as I told you before, these are just some preliminary questions for an official police investigation. So if you have nothing to hide, I strongly recommend you answer all questions.
Fine. So, yes, I have been dating Detective Eddie Ton. We started dating after the Star Labs particle accelerator. We started talking and then we discovered like I'm really thankful for Eddie because he's always been with me. But it's kind of hard to have a relationship with my dad's partner. He's very protective with me and he's always telling Eddie what he should and what he shouldn't do. So sometimes it can be really frustrating to be with him. And my dad inside our relationship. And besides, he really don't like Eddie, but I can really tell why.
Well, Miss Brown, how did Joe and Iris help you to overcome your mom's situation? Do you consider them your family?
Well, drastic change of tone there. After losing my mom and my dad the same day, I moved in with Iris and Joe. I'm really thankful for them and I'll always be. They understood my situation and helped me go through everything I was going at the moment. Of course I consider them my family. I don't know what I'd do without them.
We know that you have lived with Barry since you both were kids. How was it like him being with you guys?
So it was never hard for me to live with Barry, you know, because we were all in this room and living together actually helped us learn things from one another and became even closer. But I always tried to be really empathic with him because I knew how hard the situation was. So, you know, like her mom just getting murdered and he's out being accused because of that, I guess it was really hard for him and we felt that. My dad and I always thought that he's out since then. So we tried to help him as most as we can.
I've read your files, Dr. Snow. We know about your fiancé, Barney, who ended up locked inside the accelerator right before the explosion. Could you tell us more about this?
I would prefer to not talk about that now, if you don't mind.
I know this is hard, Dr. Snow, but we really need you to answer all the questions.
Well, Ronnie and I were discussing our honeymoon. The accelerator was already on, and Dr. Woltz decided to make a toast. We were alert about the unstable accelerator connection that was already not working. Ronnie, being the structural engineer, had to go down with Cisco and help him to try to the explosion and repair it. As I went down to see if everything was alright, he was already locked in. So we started to say goodbye to each other. Well, it took a minute.
How do you think not having your mom and your dad during your childhood contributed to the person you are right now? How did you even react when you found out that your dad had murdered your mom?
That's a tough one. Of course, not having my parents contributed to the person I am today. We were a really close family, and when this happened, we all fell apart. I think, however, that this has made me to be a stronger person since my dad always told me that I needed to move on, and I think I kind of did. However, this will always be part of me, you know? About how did I react to it? Of course I didn't believe it. I was there, I know what happened, and I know that my father didn't murder my mom. Actually, I think the CCPD still has work to do in that case, but I guess they're just so busy with their investigations. Well, all of this also made me study forensic science, you know, and to chase the impossible for my entire life.
I'm sorry for the loss of your fiancé, Dr. Starr. Do you think you'll be able to fall in love in the future?
I don't know how this information is helping your investigation, but okay, never mind. I think I'm somewhat a cold person. I prefer to keep things for myself, and I think that Ronnie helped me a lot with that. He used to say that we were like fire and ice. So answering your question, I think at this precise moment I will not be able to fall in love again, but maybe in the future I will. Only if I can meet the person that helped me to express my feelings in a better way.
Mr. Allen, could you tell me what it was like being in a coma for 9 months? How did it change your life?
Well, it was quite difficult, of course, being in a coma like for that time, then waking up only remembering that I was at my lab at CCPD, and well, being in a completely changed world where your family had to handle the fact of you being in a coma, not knowing where you would wake up and having to move on with your lives. I think it should have been really tough for them. Also, the fact of being in this world where humans can control weather, where people are linked to nuclear material at a molecular level, that's surprising,
How has your life changed after the accident? Like, what do you do for a living now?
Well, I think the accelerator explosion ended up by affecting all of us. My life has changed a lot because of both Ronnie and then the Star Labs stopped being the important facility it was, so my career grew. Then I'm still working as a bioengineer in the Star Labs and also as a doctor, but now I'm focusing more in working with metahuman and looking for their abilities. As you know, we are working with that with the CCPD.
Well, Mr. Allen, if you had the ability to go back in time into the night of the explosion, would you change something?
Well, what a hypothetical question. It's hard, of course the vertical accelerator explosion was hard for all. Being in a coma for such a long time, not being with my friends, with my family, also what Joe and Iris had to go through, it wasn't cool for them. But it also brought some positive things, such as knowing Caitlin and Cisco at Star Labs, knowing the great Harrison Wells, who helped a lot in my recovery. And I don't know, I just tried to accept my new reality, all what this accident has taught me, and to enjoy every moment now that I've lived something like that.
Miss West, do you know who the Flash is?
No, I don't. I haven't revealed his identity yet, and he has came to me sometimes and tell me how dangerous it is to discover his identity because of all the threats that are around him. And even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you about it. I think he wants to keep it as a secret.
Relax, we're almost done. Now, what do you think about the Flash? Do you think he's an actual superhero?
Since I started working with metahumans, I realized the big threat they are for our safety. So I guess he's a superhero because he's always trying to find a better common and also trying to help others. He never loses hope. I think that his powers only make him a hero, but his value and intelligence too.
Miss West, I can see you're quite close to the Flash. But what's your opinion on what he does? We've seen other masked vigilantes such as the Arrow making their own justice in Star City. What can make us think that the Flash won't end up such a scene?
I don't think we should be worrying about what the Flash is doing here. I've seen him in action and I'm really amazed at what he does. And I don't know what Arrow is doing in Star City, but I don't think we should be worried. Flash is bringing so many good things to Central City and he's helping many people. I'm just really thankful for him and all the hope he has bring to everyone here.
Well, Mr. Allen, what do you think about the Flash? Do you think he actually helps in making the city a better place?
Oh, the red streak that has been running through Central City streets lately. Well, based on what I've seen online, I think he actually wants to help. He's doing things that make the city a better place and he's giving people hope, I mean, as I told you, that's what I've seen on internet and what my friend Iris says. However, as a member of the CCPD, I must clarify that someone like Flash would be someone that doesn't follow the justice system, you know, like catching the bad guys is the police responsibility. And as a science guy, besides having the abilities he has, that's really complicated, you know, like running at that speed, breaking the sound barrier. I think that would require like lots of amounts of energy, which is physiologically complicated, you know. I'm sorry, detective. I really have to leave now.
Don't worry, Mr. Allen. We'll call you if you have any more questions. Thank you for your time.
I think I found him.